Okay. I had difficulty with it last week. So, anyway, welcome everybody, and thank you for being here. And of course, as we begin our meditation, I invite you to find that comfortable position in the chair, relaxing and sitting as comfortable but as straight as possible. We sit straight to allow for the flow of breath and the flow of energy and to be alert to the divine presence within us. And so I invite you to also to take some deep breaths, deep conscious breaths, beginning by breathing down into the belly until the belly expands as you breathe in, filling the belly and the chest with air. And then exhaling completely and gently, releasing and letting go of any concerns or distractions. Breathing in again deeply, we allow the belly to expand as we welcome the breath into the body. And then again, release and let go with a gentle and full exhale. One more time, we breathe deeply for another cleansing breath, welcoming the breath and the awareness of spirit. And then as we exhale with a sigh. And just feel that release. And keep your attention on the breath as you allow the breath to find a natural rhythm. Be aware of the breath coming in and going out. Feel the movement of the body as you breathe, and also the sound that you may hear with the breath, the sensation of the breath on the tissues of your nose and throat as you breathe in. Follow the breath in and down, filling your lungs, and then releasing outward again. As we honor this sacred breath of life, we remember that we are all on our beautiful planet, are all breathing from the one atmosphere. And more importantly, that we are all one with divinity, with all of our brothers and sisters of humanity, with all of the life on and in our planet, all the vegetation, all the animals, all the elements, the air, the water, the soul, the warmth of the sun. And as we are moving into springtime, we recognize that renewal of our awareness of divine life, expressing as each one of us in our own unique ways. And we see new life budding and blooming in the Northern Hemisphere. And remembering how we are nurtured by the beauty, the essence, and the energy of the nature around us. We are grateful for oneness of all life, for being one with the one mind and the one heart of the allness, knowing that we are not separated at all from one another or from divinity, but it is one beautiful, infinite, and radiant oneness. And so I invite you to bring your attention into your heart. Just think about the beautiful places in nature that you know of, the people that you love unconditionally, that open your heart to all-encompassing love. And embrace yourself in this love as well, being compassionate and nurturing to you. Feel the rhythm of your breath and perhaps the rhythm of your heart. And affirm harmony with all of life. And as we move into states of peace and compassion and kindness, we are contributing to peace and harmony in our world. Our loving thoughts heal our own consciousness on every level and contribute to the consciousness of the whole. So I invite you to take just a few moments in the silence, affirming, I am peace, I am love, and I share my peace and love with all. With the allness of life. And take another deep breath as we recognize that as we hold these energies of love and peace, that we also share them with others and with all of life, thereby expanding our own peace and love, which expands as we share it. And so it is. Amen. Let's invite you to bring your hands into a namaste position in front of you. Bringing your attention up to your eyes. When you're ready, open your eyes and make eye contact with those that are in our group. Angie, I just wanted to let you know that we have two people that are going to be leaving early, possibly Charlotte, and Sarah has to leave about 2:45. So.
I don't think she can hear us.
Angie, can you hear us? She may be having some sound issues with the GoToMeeting setting. Can you hear us, Angie? Doesn't look like it. She may need to check her Love technology. Divine order. Can you hear us, Angie? I'll call her again.
Okay, there's so much noise.
We can't do phones and microphones at the same time. It doesn't work. Can you hear us, Angie? I could hear her when she was talking. Yes. We can't hear you. I can't now. But the phones are creating a lot of noise.
Right, so I want to know if you have me muted.
No, I do not have you muted.
Is anybody else on the line? I mean, other than you? I mean, is Donna on?
Nobody's on but you.
Okay, what I did for right now was send you the page on Joe Dispenza so you can read it to them.
You emailed it to me?
Right on the office or something, Unity Minister or something.
Okay.
So
Now I wish we had that music back again for the rest of us.
Go ahead, sing, Donna.
What's that?
Go ahead, sing.
No, thank you.
I am what?
You're on again.
I can't find me. Okay, let me hang up because I'm having a lot of problems with your noise in the back. Let me see if I can find that other thing. There you are. Can you hear me? Yay. My goodness. Ah, I've been up and down the stairs setting and resetting and putting different Wi-Fis and okay. So you did the meditation. Thank you. I'm glad everybody's peaceful. So I'm gonna skip the question today because we have lost a lot of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on an article by Joe Dispenza. It's not that long, but none of these words are mine. So when I said this or I thought that or whatever, it's not me, it's Joe talking. Okay, so here we go. When you see a person who is blind because of a stroke and is told that they will never heal from that stroke, after 2 weeks if it does not heal. he will automatically have to live with it, and he loses his job, cannot drive, he's clinically blind. I'm not the person that is going to tell him that he is absolutely going to heal this. He has to come to that understanding on his own. So people many times, when they gather knowledge and information, the information causes them to become conscious of what they were once unconscious to. And when you have a greater level of consciousness, you see possibilities. And in a sense, you are energized by information. Here you are enlightened, filled with light in some way, and you see possibilities that you haven't seen before. Now, getting beyond the analytical mind is one of the main purposes of meditation. And I can tell you that the analytical mind is always going to talk us out of possibility, because it is fascinated on trying to predict what is going to happen next. So, you know how the ego is always attempting to defend itself against perceived threats. So, I mean, that was my own take on that. So if you are predicting your future, okay. But then if you are, and then you are lying unconscious, no. Then you are lying unknown or on an unknown. So basically, once you become present, everything is unknown, but at the same time, you're always present to the moment. So you don't need to anticipate. You do not need to. You don't need to prepare to such an exhaustive level as the ego does. Again, that's my plug in there. So there are many, and this is a habit we have because the brain is in an anticipation machine. So there are many different obstacles and resistances that come with a persistent disbelief that has been programmed over and over and over again. I mean, I do not watch TV, but I have watched it because of what is happening in the world. And I am so insulted by television commercials. I cannot believe people will sit there and allow that information to program them. Some drug to make them feel a certain way or look a certain way or whatever. You don't think that has profound effects on programming a person into limitation? When I wrote the book, You Are the Placebo, I was so angry at myself for 2 weeks. I was so frustrated with myself because I bought the program people believe. People believe they need a flu shot because they do not believe their bodies in the body's innate capacity to heal. 4 days teaching people how to elevate their state, increase immunoglobulin, and in a research by 50 immunoglobulin, and in your body's primary defense against bacteria and viruses, and just by being in class. It's better than the flu shot. It's better than any flu shot or any other thing, but that is not the information that people get. So there is a layer of programming that is happening. And the beauty behind all of this is nobody's buying information any longer. I love it. And I'm not prone to believing that guy in the tube either, telling me the way it is. And nobody should anymore. More and more people then, as they start to wake up to information. There is a change in energy because change in consciousness requires a change in energy. And now a greater energy causes system that were once stable to become unstable, to become chaotic. And chaos is just unpredictable order. It is novelty, it is newness, it is an unraveling of systems. So hang on. This is a really profound time because it's gotta break, and when it breaks, something better comes out of it. It is not going to be governments and politicians and religious figures and whatever's leading the way. There is no one leader. Everybody got a lead, just like those birds that move in one direction, or those fish that are all in a school and they are moving together, giving the appearance of something bigger to predators. You study that principle in biology, and that is called emergence. You think that there is one leader that everybody's following, and everybody's leading, and there's a stigma. We have in our own minds that if you live with too much passion in your life, you are going to lose your life. Whether you are Martin Luther King or William Wallace or John of Arc or Abraham Lincoln, you are going to get it. And that stigma is branded in people's minds for a reason, but this is a time in history to not to die. For the truth, this is time in history to live for the truth. And if you are working on your anger and frustration, and I am working on my fear and anxiety and my judgment, and I am taking care of me, and you emerge in that heart of yours, and I emerge in that heart, we're going to be like-minded. We are going to be connected by that invisible field. Now everybody's leading. You just cannot take out everybody. Now, so we cannot, and again, we cannot wait for anybody else to take this. Now is the fundamental time for something greater has got to grip us. Something greater. And if I see you demonstrating courage, I'm going to too. I'm going to jump in, and all of this craziness that is going on is an important time. But when we stop doing all these things and reacting and we start going, hey, what do you do? Oh, you are a solar panel guy. Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, you're a doctor. Let's get together and let's start figuring out how to coexist. Oh, you are brown. I am white. Oh, you are black. Who cares? That's the costume you are wearing for the masquerade. I celebrate your uniqueness, and I am weird too. And we are all like that. So the biggest lie is that kind of a way to create separation amongst people for the simple reason to disempower them into limitation, because now they are more dependent on pharmaceutical companies, they are more dependent on religion, they're more dependent on whatever it is that they need out there. But how can you give someone a sugar pill as a lean solution, perform some false surgery or procedure? A certain percentage of those people will accept, believe, and surrender to the thought that they are getting an actual substance or treatment. And they begin to program their automatic nervous system to make the exact pharmacy of chemicals equal to the substance they think they are taking now. Is it the inert substance that is doing the healing, or is it the body's innate capacity to heal? Because that sugar pill represents, it is a symbol of possibility. And you hand that person that pill, and they begin to select a new potential in the quantum field called, this could actually work. And if the doctor is enthusiastic, it will work better. And if you name it something they cannot pronounce, it will work even better. And if you charge a lot of money for it, will work even better. And if you make it sound like something that it can do for you, it will work even better. Like Niagara, that is a lot of flow. It is a subconscious cues. So then in the study of depression, in the studies on pain relief, those people were making their own pharmaceutical, the pharmacy of antidepressants, their own pharmacy of morphine. we were checking the receptor sites on the outside of the cells, and their bodies were making morphine. So then, do you need the sugar pill? Do you need the saline injection? Do they need to perform some false surgery or procedure? Because all they are doing is marrying a clear intention with the elevated emotion of optimism, of possibility, of inspiration. They are changing their state of being. All right. So depression studies took 8 weeks, giving the person the pill every day. Most of them thought that they were getting the actual substance because they felt so much better. The brain scans showed that they were better. They were getting the placebo. They went back to the researchers and said, I'm sorry, you must have given me the real medication. No, he gave you the placebo. That is much better. They felt it was not. They felt that it was the real medicine that they were trying to trick them. One day they did take it. They didn't take it once and said, I am better. He took it for 6 weeks. So then people are so entitled to thinking that the moment they press on their cell phone, they get answers and information. It is not how it works. This is a practice every day, changing your state of being, doing it for 8 weeks without a sugar pill, just marrying your clear intention, an elevated emotion, changing your state of being without any exogenous substance. Sooner or later, you start feeling good. You practice feeling good every day for 8 weeks. You are going to start feeling good. It is just that it's just going to be the side effect. Just makes sense. And that is the article by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I'm opening the floor for questions. I have different topics, so.
Did you send that, Angie?
I am hot from running stairs.
Virginia?
She sent it to the one email that's not working.
Oh, okay.
I've been trying to find it while she was reading, and I can't. I need to give her the better email address, but she normally does email me, so but maybe we could get her to email it to all of us.
I would like to have an email to me.
We would like you to email the article to us.
Lisa.
Yeah. Yes.
Lisa.
I'm answering you. Yes. Can you hear me? I'm here.
Can you guys hear me? Lisa, what's going on with you?
We can hear Lisa.
Put your hand up.
No, I'm answering you. I'm talking to you.
I can't.
You might have to call her. She obviously can't.
I'll take another question for see if she can fix her thing.
It's not her. We can hear her.
Oh, can get there? Yeah, Donna, your volume is on.
Yeah. You can't hear me. You can't hear me. Yeah, you can't hear us. We can hear you, but you can't hear us.
Can you hear me, Angie? Oh, maybe. Oh, somebody disappeared. Sarah did.
So she couldn't hear me, right? She just logged out?
We can hear you. You can't hear us.
No, I couldn't hear her.
Can you hear me?
I could hear Donna. I could hear you.
Oh,
I
okay.
could not hear Lisa. That's how come I kept on addressing Lisa.
I'm not muted.
Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay,
I
we're
don't
good.
know what happened.
Okay, we lost somebody. Sarah. Okay. So what were you going to ask, Lisa? Now that you have your, oh, come on.
No, I already told Virginia. I just wanted a copy of what you read. That's all.
Okay, no, I don't pass copies of my material because you already have it in here. Anyhow, anybody has any questions about this doctor? I mean, he gave a lot of information, and if you didn't open your eyes on the stuff he gave you the whole scenario, not just a piece, but gave you the entire piece of the puzzle.
It's
And
too much. It seems like it's too much to hear. It needs to be something that we would read. I hate to say it that way, but I'm more of a reading kind of person, absorbing. It's hard for me to hear something and absorb it fast enough.
right,
Just,
yeah, you're
just
gonna have to
saying.
hear it several times. I do
Yeah.
not pass my material out, but you can have it on my, it is always available on video. I mean, not video, on audio. Virginia,
Yes.
what did you think of it?
I think it's very good. I think, like you said, there's a lot of belief against healing without medication because there's a lot of business built up around it. And
But even when the pharmaceuticals they were not around, there was the doctor with the herbs and the doctor with the this and the doctor with that, giving you the impression of you were always limited to something outside of you. I'm trying to get us to change our minds completely, not just partially. Well, this is holistic. Well, this is Ayurvedic, and then something else is allopathic. What do they call that medicine?
allopathic.
Allopathic, yes. So it's not just the allopathic medicine that I'm talking about. I wanted to address the entire thing. I mean, if I would have maybe given you this thing, and if I had actually written it, I would have included that, because we're always at the mercy of something, and we're always out there without the responsibility that if you came here as a creator and now you're standing on your creative shoes, that you should stand up and begin with the baby steps. And the baby steps have a lot to do with transforming or be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That what, Virginia, was the rest of that?
I don't remember the whole passage right now, but be ye transformed by the Be
ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may show yourself or prove to yourself that
okay.
you have the power to do so, in other words. I just didn't know the exact wording on the Bible. I usually use the Bible as the most metaphysical book I ever read. Thank you, Virginia. Donna, what did you think of it? I mean, I know you like that doctor. I think you
I
had
do.
mentioned him to me before.
Joe Dispenza, but he's more, okay. In my mind, he's more scientific.
Yes, yes.
So I do like his perspective, and when I hear what you were saying, transpose that into what we're learning in the class too. So, and make
Right.
it a spiritual thing. So it works for me. But so people, I don't know how many people know this, but Joe Dispenza was in a terrible accident and his spinal cord was crushed. And he healed his own spinal cord doing this process. So
in different places, it wasn't just crushed, it was almost demolished.
Yes, and so he, you know, used this technique that he is trying to share with us here about it's, you know, our minds are powerful things, and we can change the outcome of many things. You know, our mental states, our physical states. But you know, what his idea is here is that, you know, these thoughts take time, they take practice, and it can happen. So, and it did happen for him. He literally was told that he was going to have to remain in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and he is not now. So it did work for him. So.
Okay, did you guys want to know what was creating me that you couldn't hear me and I couldn't hear you? I had the ears attached to the computer.
There you go.
True story. Yes, Penny.
Well, I just feel like we are so brainwashed by the pharmaceutical companies and by the doctors, and even by the alternative healthcare providers.
Everybody.
And everybody, they all want a piece of us. And you know, you kind of have to, like, I went to the doctor and they wanted to give me 2 medications. I said no, start with 1, because she said, oh, you look like you're not happy about having 2. I said, no, I don't want 2 medications. I'll try 1, but then we'll go from there. And it's just, there's so, they give it out like candy. I mean, I get stuff from CVS. I get these texts from CVS all the time saying, oh, you can renew your prescription for, or you can get another prescription for this or that or the other thing. I said, I don't want it. Stop texting me, you know? And it's just like, I think they're all pharmaceutical, the drugstores, the doctors, even, like I said, even the alternative healthcare providers are all seem to, they just want you to be dependent on them. And that, I guess that's their business. That's how they make money. So
it is a business, and we are programmed for that. But also, I want you to catch something. You said, you know, it seems to be this and that and the other. And the thing is, Penny and everybody else, it's not that difficult to override a programming. But the ego will pound you down and tell you that you can't, because it cannot allow you to do, you know, actually my next talk, it's about moving past the ego's uncomfortability. Okay, so it has to do with the ego and not wanting you to really succeed. The ego is trying to protect you, but it has to be on its own terms and its own way, and it does not allow you to escape that, because it will be without a job pretty much. So without knowing that it actually changes in a different format, and it actually will be of service, but not the way that it is being used now. Charlotte?
Yes. I thought it was great. He said everything that I feel is very true. And I guess I sort of relate it to all this COVID and the vaccine thing, because that's all you hear. But on the TV and, I mean, everywhere, everybody talks about it. And it's like you're being programmed. Well, you are being programmed about it.
It's programmed for control, and that's the problem. That if it wasn't an agenda behind it, I would be more comfortable with it. But other than that, I mean, it's a matter of control, that somebody is supposedly trying to control us by doing whatever. But at this point, at this late in the game, that's an impossibility for a lot of us to be controlled. So
I don't like it a bit. I've sort of been struggling lately because I want to start traveling. I have a couple of friends I want to do things with, but yet they don't want to do anything with anyone who hasn't been vaccinated. And I don't feel real, I don't know what to do.
Well, if you see it as not being controlled, but doing what you want to do for the reasons you want, not for the reasons they want, rather than feeling controlled and manipulated. Do it on your terms.
Oh, that sounds, I like that. Thank you for that.
Hi, Penny.
Angie? Yeah, Charlotte, I had a struggle too, because I said I struggled. I did not want to get the vaccine. I just didn't like the idea at all about the control aspect. But then I said, okay, I'm going to get this because I want to be able to go, like I did Sunday, to the zoo with my friend and the 2 kids. And I don't want her to be afraid for me to be there. And I want to be able to live again. So it's almost like, since I got the vaccine, I don't know if it's going to, I don't know what it's going to do to me. I keep saying, I think we'll probably all start growing horns. But, and I don't know if it's going to protect us. I don't know if we can still be carriers. And there's so many unanswered questions. And is it going to cause more medical problems for us down the road? But I'll tell you what, I feel like I have a new lease on life because I can start doing things again that I couldn't do before. And so I say, hey, I'm done with it. I'm over. I did it. Okay, check my name off the list and let me live again. And so it's more of a, I'm doing it for myself, not because of people are out there telling me I have to do it, you know. So, but that's exactly what Angie said. Do it for you, not for anybody else, you know. Yeah.
Do it in your terms. Yes, can I help you? Talking to the cat. Jenny?
I know Dispenza well, and I've read a couple of his books and purchased a few of his lectures. So I'm real clear on everything that you read, and I get it. And to me, it's in line with what I learned in the course. And I also get, and just with personal experience, that when you put yourself in a state of divinity, and you decide divinity,
okay.
Yeah. And you decide that you're in charge of your reality, and you make moves based on that sense of knowledge in yourself. It's amazing how the exterior world acquiesces. But I also recognize that in my imperfect state of total knowledge of my divinity, there'll be times when the ego will have control and I'll feel a sense of fear or insecurity in something. And I understand why, you know, vaccines or medications or various things are necessary because of that lack of complete perceptual truth. So, like Penny's example, by her getting that vaccine, it afforded her ability to remain in great health. You know, saying that just because she got the vaccine, she's going to be ill now because they're saying there's, you know, these side effects. It's not necessarily so, because either we have the ability to heal ourselves or not. So with her conviction that she's going to now be free, for where she's at, taking that vaccine was necessary for her. Now for me, I don't want to take it. Number one, the control. The other is I believe 100% that I'm never going to fall seriously ill to it. And knowing that if I get it, I do have that fear, which is the wrong perception, that it will make me sick. So I need to work on that perception. So
but also you also have the people that they might not want to see you, including relatives, if you do not take it.
And if you know, if that's something that, that, you know what, that's not something that's even in my mind. And so to me, that's not going to be part of my reality. That's,
Okay.
I'm not going to experience that.
Okay.
So again, I think of life as this life as vertical as opposed to horizontal. And as I continue to rise in the vertical aspects of, you know, my spiritual development, that needs to happen outside of me will, like I said, acquiesce to what my level is.
Okay. Thank you. Pam? Your thoughts?
I understand what he's saying, and I believe in a lot of it, but I think a lot of times you need a little bit of help, because sometimes not taking whatever medicine, people can't get over that. So I think that's just a help, as long as you don't make it a full-time, you know, something that's ongoing. But I do think that there is a place for medicine, but it's, you know, you have to look at it as something that's going to help you for a temporary piece of time. If you can't get a natural product that doesn't.
If you go and break a bone, you're not going to sit there and, you know, try to mend it by mind. You could, but you have to be an adept at it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go to, you know, have it set and have it looked at. And I mean, I'm not going to say, okay, I have this all figured out and it is this way. And I don't know exactly at what point. I mean, I know I'm changing rapidly and I have been changing for years, but I don't know at what point. I'm still in the what if part at the back of the mind that I even know I don't acknowledge this and go, get back, get thee behind me, Satan. But I don't want to leave anything to chance either. Knowing, I mean, I have always been very analytical and very, I have to get to the bottom of things and see if they tried it and try it and see and prove that it works or it doesn't work. And knowing that it has worked several times or more than several times, I know. But has it worked 100% of the time? No. And that's the part where I will not say, okay, I know it all, then I have it all. You know, if I have to have something medically, I will have it. But I don't take yearly vaccines. I don't take any of that. I did once back in 1980. Even remember the year, and I got so sick and I said, never again. Goodbye. That's the last time I saw something. And, you know, no matter where you go, they're pushing it. Have you had your vaccine? Give you $10 if you do. You know, go over here. And no matter what, they're all over you, trying to see, did you get the vaccine? Well, now everybody's into, are you going to get vaccinated so we can see each other? Are you going to, you know, so we can see each other? I miss you, but I can't see you. You have not vaccinated. As a matter of fact, Lisa today sent me a thing that she was vaccinated, and I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I probably will be too. I just was waiting for the last vaccine rather than the first two, because of my own choices. But that's what it was. Pam, I'm sorry I interrupted you.
It's okay. That's quite all right.
Are you finished with your?
I'm finished. Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I just took off and saw the door and ran with it. Sorry. Lisa?
I was just going to say that anybody that hasn't had it and wants to get it, I was waiting for the third one because based on my intuition but also just some of the research about the vaccine, I read that I'd rather have that. But anyway, I want to see my new baby granddaughter. So I just, And the doctor called me yesterday and the line was very short. It was a very fast. There was hardly anybody there.
So you
But
went
they are
through the
checking.
doctor?
Pardon me?
You went through the doctor then? At the
No,
doctor's
I went
office?
through, no, I went, these are federal, these were federally provided, and it's at Fletcher in Rome. And they're going to be on Saturday. They'll be Saturday from 8 until 3.
Don't you have to have an appointment?
No, no appointment. No. You just
So
show up with
anybody
your
do it.
ID.
Fletcher and Rome,
Fletcher in
at
Rome.
the corner of Fletcher and Rome. Is it in a building?
No, not the corner. It's a the Tampa Family Health Clinic, which is not the corner. It's really on Fletcher.
I know where that is.
Yeah, yeah.
And anybody can
Okay.
do it, Lisa.
Donna wants to
Well,
say
no, you have to be a medical provider or have comorbidities. You know, if you're under 65, have some comorbidities. I mean, they
have
don't.
some what? Excuse me. Have some what?
Comorbidities.
I don't know what that is.
Well, like you would be eligible because you have some stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're like 100% healthy and you're not 65 and you're not medical, forget it.
Okay. Donna, you were over there with the hand.
That was, I just wanted to ask Lisa about that. So in other words, if we have an underlying condition that would warrant it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Does that have to be diagnosed by the doctor, I wonder?
No.
Okay.
You just tell them.
I would prefer the third one myself. If I'm going to get one, because I'm like Angie here. I'm like a wait and see kind of a person. Let's see what happens to everybody else.
But the other thing that I heard, Donna and Angie, or anybody else that's interested, the other thing I heard is that the Johnson & Johnson, they're much smaller quantities. And my friend went on Friday and she waited almost 4 hours for that one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
How long do you wait?
Maybe an hour at the most.
Okay.
It probably could have gone faster. It was a really short line.
Penny
No, I
wanted
think
to say something.
What I'd heard about the third one though is it actually has the virus in it. And I didn't want anything that had the virus in it. That's why I didn't
No,
like
it's not a live
No.
virus. It's not the live virus.
No.
Anyway, one thing I'd like to add is that I do know someone who strongly believes that the divinity within her is going to protect her from this virus, and that's my 95-year-old aunt. She said, I will not get the vaccine, and I will not get the virus. Period.
And that is
that's
fine,
the way
but
she.
I mean,
That's the way she lives. Yeah.
many of us and other people have family members, friends, best friends, in my case, that need, for whatever reason, to be told that in order for us to meet, it will be to have a vaccine.
Mm.
Now that it's available, it's more like an insistence on the friends and family that, okay, come and see us, but do this.
Well, that's what's happening for us.
And then I have the opposite side. In my family and friends also.
Mm-hmm.
And do not talk to me about anything like that. Do not, you know, I will not use a mask. I will not keep my distance. I will not do this, that, the other. Okay, so I have them on both sides.
Well, all of her family is getting, but the difference is all of her family who are old enough now are getting the vaccine. So it's kind of making it less and less likely internally within the family that she'll get it. I think she wears masks when she goes out because
that is what the doctor said here, that more and more people are waking up.
Yeah.
That it will be harder. It's getting harder and harder to keep the trend going. It will break.
I have
we are at a point that we are breaking the system.
Yeah. Byron will not get.
We are the midwives
Yeah.
of the new world. So, anybody else? Yes, Jenny.
I wasn't going to mention this because I thought, the primary purpose of the question was, well, I guess, everybody, comments about Dispenza in reference to our ability to heal ourselves.
Right.
But I'm going to go ahead and share it because it's something that I could send to everybody if they want it. a 3-hour video I just about finished before this class about, and this is the physical aspect of our existence, not considering the spiritual aspect. So it was a doctor that spoke. Basically, you know, our bodies are full of viruses all the time, and these viruses mutated us into what we are today. And that if we are in a balanced system, a healthy environment, healthy food, healthy air, healthy water, these viruses aren't going to proliferate. So because certain parts of the country are in areas where there's a lot of cyanide in the air, I mean, all these fires, these factories putting out actually literally cyanide, and these PM levels, parts per, I don't know, million.
Parts per million.
Yeah. And this is caused by the fires. I mean, the California fires were historic. The Australian fires were historic. Those have added to our impure biome. The CO2 in the air, yeah, and the CO2, all of that affects us. This virus was able to be a carrier of those impurities where it was more concentrated. And when the virus carried those impurities, it was the environmental toxins that were killing those 5,000 people in New York. They weren't dying from COVID. They were dying from cyanide poison that was carried with the virus into their system. They had no pneumonia, no full lungs, nothing of the COVID patients. There were 3 levels of people that got sick and died. Those that were poisoned by cyanide and various other toxic things in our environment. Those that had COVID antibody, or they were infected but didn't show any signs, and those that were infected and didn't die, but they did get the virus. And if they would have tested properly, they would have seen those 3 things, and those people intubated in New York would have never died, because they instead would have been treated for cyanide poisoning. So the point is that we're going to always have vaccines, and getting the flu vaccine, they said, even increased your likelihood of 35% to get COVID. Now, getting COVID, again, isn't killing people. It's what the COVID is, the carrier of the environment that's getting inside of their system. So if we look at this whole biome that we live in, and we accept that we've got to clean and we've got to bring back to health our planet Earth so that we can be healthy. And they even explained, when an infant is born on day 7 in their stool, there are billions of viruses in that stool, but they're not sick because they're a balanced system. It's when they get older that that balanced system gets out of balance and can allow illness. So vitamin D3, you know, the various nutrients we could have added to up our system's immunity would have helped combat, we wouldn't need these vaccinations. Now, if you're in an environment that's extremely toxic, your system's not going to be able to withstand some of that. You know, I get that. But by getting vaccines, we're really limiting our ability to allow our biosystem to elevate our immune and our species to a level that can tolerate any of these new viruses. So that's on the physical side. When we think about the spiritual side of things, though, remember when you think about What the Bleep Do We Know, that whole show, it's us and our thinking and our mind that creates our environment. So if I can manipulate a photon because of what I'm thinking, I can also manipulate this virtual playground that I'm living in. So there's 2 levels here. There's the horizontal level of understanding our biosystem, and then there's that spiritual level of understanding we're the creators. So there's 2 things at play here.
Okay, what I wanted to say also, I heard you. I mean, I agree with you, except for one thing. The part where you said, and then you get older, and that's a belief system also. I wanted you to pay attention. You said something about, and people then, because people, you know, they're okay, and then there's an imbalance because people start getting older. And going, no, that's a belief also that has been
Yeah.
inculcated.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
back
agree.
to the Bible because the Bible is telling you that back in the time of who was it? Adam and Eve and Steve and whoever, that they had the people at the time when they started rearing children were 120. It was considered their age, and then they lived onto the 100s or something, and then. But when people get that old, you can control them as well. So the age started dropping slowly, then 500, then 300, then then under 100, and now it's going back up, and people are trying to keep people from. I'm sorry, we cannot support you. We cannot do this, that, the other. But at the same time, as we're aging, we're not as fragile as our grandparents were, or our great grandparents. So I want also the idea that to tweak that idea that as we grow older, our systems start to shut down. Okay, it's just another point added to the limitation idea.
I agree,
And
and thank you for pointing that out. And I did say older. My mind was considering instead there's a duration of time that infant is in an environment of a toxic environment and has not yet learned that vertical way of I'm divine, and that's it's not gonna hurt me, or I'm in a perfect system. In other words. Yeah.
Okay,
I didn't catch that.
I'm gonna go now to the next, moving past the ego's uncomfortability. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever challenge, difficulty, struggle, breaking down, bursting open, temper tantrums, irritability, frustration, rage, sadness, depression, inability to control what may be coming next, thinking about the future so much that there's massive amounts of anxiety in your body. Whatever it is a now moment that is literally moving through you. Every moment that you are experiencing is designed to just move through us. That's what the flow state is all about. What happens is that we are uncomfortable. So whatever you're going through right now, if it's not fun, if you don't like it so much, it may be uncomfortable. It's your ego reacting. And maybe there's moments that you are feeling uncomfortable. In moments where it seems okay, it's the moment where it's uncomfortable that I encourage you to focus on and observe. Bring the observer out, because it is in those moments where you will attach to the now moment. Attaching because you don't feel like you have control over it. You're attaching because you do not know if you can trust what you are experiencing. Are you safe? Will you survive it? Would you get through it? You see, we are humans that are designed to be in control, to know what is coming. That's the programming, to predict the future. And right now, many of us are unable to do all three of those things. So we're standing in new territory, new ground, and you're standing in new territory, and you're being asked to trust you in ways that you've never been before. You're being asked to let go of a false sense of control, and begin to stop and to step deep into the only control you have, which is trusting in the present moment that you are in. You are being asked to remember that you are designed to be in a flow state, which means that you breathe through every now moment, no matter how uncomfortable. You let go of attaching to the moment. You free fall, you drop, you experience, you be trusting and knowing that you are safe. Trusting and knowing that every now moment is an opportunity to embody more of your higher states of consciousness. More love, abundance, joy, peace, service. So you stop and breathe to be in the flow. You embrace your breath to be in flow. You trust what's occurring in order to be in the flow. And you remember what you are becoming, what you already are, but you just forgot. You know, when you are in the flow, magic happens. There's less suffering, there's less victimhood, there's less blaming you or others. You begin to embrace all uncomfortableness, all the anxiety and the stress and the worry and the concern and the inability to figure things out, the lack of control, the sadness, the depression, the anger, the rage, the confusion, the I am sick of this. You learn to embrace it. Remember, everything is designed to move. Every now moment is designed to move you into the next, into what's coming next. And the only reason it feels like you're stuck in something is because you are trying to figure it out, control it, and change it. You are holding on to it. Practice these 4 steps. If you're experiencing the attached state, the freak out state, how do I get through this? I don't like this. I do not want this. Step 1, stop. Just stop. Stop what you're doing. That stopping is going to get you to be present. Just stop. In the middle of the freak out, stop. Pause. Okay? It will literally pull the reins back and you will be present. So stop what you're doing. That is 1. It's getting present. It is being in the now. Step 2, embrace your breath. Devour your breath. What do I mean by devour the breath? You know how when we're breathing and it's like when you're thirsty and you start to drink quite a bit and fast because you're so thirsty. The same with the breath. When you get yourself into a state of where you're getting stuck, start breathing faster and deeper, taking a big gulp, or a big gulp of air, like a big gulp of water if you were thirsty. Your breath is the key to everything. So number 1, stop, be in the present. Step 2 is breathe. Step 3, trust. Trust even more. Trust the I am that I am. Trust that you are that, because you are. You are okay. You can survive this. That you will survive this. That you get through this. And, okay, I lost everybody. There we go. I don't know what I pressed, but everybody disappeared. So you can survive this, that you will survive this and you get through this, and that this is a sign to move. Trust, and that whatever this that is the front of you is a gift always. Whatever this is that is in your way, that you're breathing through, is a gift to move you into these higher aspects of you, to move you into you, to move you back to your wholeness, your completeness, your sovereignty. And 4, remember that you are becoming. Remember that you are becoming that which you already are, which is whole and complete. Remember it. Remember you are being that which you are becoming, which is that what you already are. So this message is for you right here, right now. If you're doubting, if you are struggling, if you're wondering, If you are worried, if you are anxious, if you are stressed, if you are pissed, if you are rageful, if you are confused, if you are out of control, all the above and anything else, you get through it. You are not designed to stay stuck in anything. Remember that everything is energy. Energy cannot be stuck. It can be rerouted, which is not something you want. It is designed to be in a flow state. You are designed to be in a flow state. And we are learning how to flow. You are courageous. I promise you that whatever you are in, you get through with grace and ease the more that you relax into it. This is what's shifting and the ascension is all about. And you're not alone. We're all coming together. It's the idea that we are alone, that we're struggling, that people wouldn't understand us, that somehow, you know, we are different, but we're not. And again, when I'm opening the floor, not as long this time, but yes, Lisa.
What was number 4?
Oh no.
I have the first 3. I just maybe I didn't write it down.
Hold on. Step 3, 4. Okay. Remember that you're becoming. Remember that you are becoming that which you already are, which is whole and complete.
Thank
So
you.
in other words, you don't have to struggle. You already are that which is. And once you realize that completely, then you can start applying it. Applying it from that point, from that perspective. It's no longer a perspective, it's a way of being. From your beingness, you can start acting from your beingness. Then you can be called acting actualized rather than reactive, rather than programmed. Every time you react, a program is running you. It's not you being present. It is, you know, Angie has left the building, you know, if I am in a reactive mode. So, so Donna, what was step number 3?
Trust. Trust that I'm okay. I can survive this. I am safe.
Give me an example.
Coronavirus.
Okay.
I'm okay. Trust that I'm okay. I can survive this.
Uh-huh. Virginia, number 2.
Embrace your breath, devour it, take it in faster and deeper. Sounds
So breath work.
Breath.
Uh-huh.
One
Can
of
you
my
demonstrate?
Many.
Choose one.
Huh?
Choose one.
Belly breath.
When I'm talking devouring breath.
Deep, slow breaths like I use for meditation. Breathe into the belly, fill up the chest, and exhale completely. Just doing deep, conscious, slow breath. That's one way to devour the breath.
Have you done the fire breath?
Yes, I do the fire breath often.
Okay.
Lately, I've been using the extended exhale for relaxation, and it has proven to be even better than the biofeedback breath that I was using.
Right. The extended release of the breath is very relaxing. It lowers your blood pressure. It
very calm.
Resets your bio
sympathetic
parasympathetic system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Charlotte, what was number 1?
It is stop. If I do not like this, stop and pause and get yourself into the present moment.
Right. I mean, and you can just stop suddenly. It is, you know, it doesn't require any explanation, only that you stop and be present.
Yes.
Okay. And Jenny, steps 1 through 4 are?
Stop. Devour the breath.
No, start with 1.
Oh, stop. Number 1 is stop.
Mm-hmm.
Number two is devour the breath.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is trust.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, oh, she just repeated it. Number 4 is I keep wanting to say know that I am part of the whole, but that's 5. Sorry.
What is 4?
You're asking
Step
me what's
4,
number 4?
what is it?
Number
I'm
4?
asking, yes.
Yeah, you just gave it to me. You just told me what it was. Remember, I'm becoming that which I already am. I'm whole and complete.
Yeah, okay. I got it. Yep. Yes. Thank you, Lisa. You reminded me. Remember that I'm one. I'm complete. I'm already 100% perfect. Yeah.
And Pam, when would you be using any of these steps?
Anytime you were anxious, anytime you had a problem or you were afraid of something, you could use them all the time. I mean, for just about anything. Anytime
Very good.
Anxiety or fear, or you know, you have no idea what you're going to do next. It would help, you know, deciding what, you know, problem solving.
I was looking at you earlier and I saw a tail go by.
Yeah. He jumped from one side of the laptop up into the back of this chair.
I just saw a tail go by. It's like, okay, you know, somebody wants some attention. Does anybody have any questions? I think that was very easy, and the steps to get out of some steps to get you out of to get back into the present. Okay, the next has to, hi Mimi, Mitzi. I call her Mimi. Okay, the next talk is gonna have to do with manifestation. Okay. So let's talk about manifestation and intention. 3 steps. And I'm gonna ask you questions again. 3 simple steps. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's always meant to be easy and simple. Here is step 1. What are you intending into your now? What are you manifesting? Get clear on it, very clear. The clearer, the better. So just I want, so not just I want a new partner or a new job or I want more money. No, we get more specific. If you must write it out, but get specific on what it is that you are intending. Step 2, pull that version of you out of the quantum field. So the way I do it is I literally see that version of me somewhere in the quantum, because that is there's an infinite number of versions of you and me that exist already, doing all kinds of stuff. It's not vertical, it's not horizontal. it is all at once, having all kinds of stuff, specifically timelines, and experiencing all kinds of stuff. So you take that version of you. Remember that you are omnipresent. You are in all of the fields, in all of the possibilities of timelines, parallel worlds, and all of that. So find that version of you that has that new job, that new partner, the abundance, whatever it is, and you pull that version of you that's already doing it, being it, having it, experiencing, and you align with it. Step 2 is alignment. You're aligning with that version. So you are, excuse me, I need some water. So you're aligning with that version of you, so you pull that version of you from the quantum. You see her or him, they are doing, what are they doing, being, having, what are you having, are you having it, whatever it is, and you pull it, and you align that version right here, right now. Literally, you physically, an inner jet like you. It already exists, it's already part of you. Energetically, physically, that is called, some people call it timeline, some other people call it timeline jumping, quantum jumping. So you align that version right now, right here, physically, literally, an inner jet like you, energetically, physically kind of feel, and see this version of you right here. Step 3, you embody that version of you. You embody it inside your being, so you become it. Manifesting and intending is not, I repeat, it's not about finding, going towards something, or moving towards something, or stepping into something. Manifesting and intending is pulling it from the quantum and aligning with it in the now and embodying it right here, right now. Regardless of whether it is physically in your now or not, it doesn't matter. That's how you manifest and intend in a quantum field, which is what you're standing in, is the quantum field. So if you, when before we got into the 5th dimension, we were working with the 4th dimension and with the train station and with framing, and before that, before the 4th dimension was the secret, what is it, the law of attraction. Now is pulling it out of the quantum field because it already exists. Everything already is. And at this point, things become easier because you don't have to struggle. Like in the beginning, in the Bible, it tells you that the 2nd chapter of the Bible, not the 1st one. 1st and 2nd talks about Genesis. The 2nd chapter is the doing, is the 3rd dimension. Is the doing, and everything is an effort, and everything is hard. The 2nd one is more like a period of grace. And it's like, okay, that's the 4th dimension. And then the 5th dimension is the 1st chapter of the Bible, which is talking about the 5th dimension. Okay, so if you understand the Bible the way that is intended for metaphysicians, you will understand that on the fifth dimension, nothing ever requires effort, because you already know that it already exists. All you have to do is align with what? The truth of who you are. Align with what? With who you're pulling that out of your creative energy. Let there be light, and there was light. There was not, okay, and I'm gonna go and make and arrange all these items and make it into light, and you know, no. Let there be, and there was, because it already was. On the second thing of creation, and God went and created Adam out of the dirt of the earth, and the woman, he went and pulled a rib or something, and there was a lot of work into it. So it also is in the Bible that says it's not by might, it's not by power, but it's by my spirit, says the Lord, which means it's not in the third dimension by might or labor. It's not by power, fourth dimension, which is by mind, and on the fifth dimension, but by the spirit. The spirit is effortless. Everything already is. Everything that was done by the Spirit of God and by nothing else. Okay. So alignment is the key into this manifesting part. You have to embody it right now, right here, regardless of whether it is physically in the moment, it doesn't matter. That's how you manifest into this field, which is what you're standing in. It is the quantum fifth dimensional field. You must be it, you must feel it, you must know it, you must experience it, and then it becomes a physical reality. But if you're constantly trying to get to it, trying to find it, crossing your fingers that it happens, feeling like you must move towards it, like you must do some sort of energetic gymnastics to get there, you're missing the point. Everything is designed to be easy and graceful. Everything. And so when you embody it, and what you're doing is you're living your normal life with your normal physical reality, but you are also in you, are experiencing that version of you as often as you can. You are embodying that version of you as often as you can. So for instance, let's say you want a new job. You go to your job every day. It sucks, you hate it, blah, 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 whatever. You are also in as many moments as possible feeling the version of you in you, right? Now that has now that has that new job, what are you feeling? What are you? What are you dressing like? What are you looking at? What do you look like? What do you sound like? What kind of emotions are you having? What is the physical way to get to work? What is the job? Who's in the job with you? Who are you interacting with? What are the conversations you are saying? Another example. Let's say you want a partner in your life, and you are alone, and you're lonely, and you are not happy about it, blah, 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 whatever. It is that it is that we do in the human world. This is what we do as humans, and in that moment you are also with your partner. So you are visualizing your partner sitting next to you, watching TV with you, making dinner with you, knocking at the front door. You're imagining conversations. You are being the version of you that already is the version of you plucked from the quantum field. You went into that timeline. You saw the character. You become that character because you are that character in an omni version of who you are. That already is a version of you plucked from the quantum field. So your being in the quantum field, you're accepting your physical reality, doing your best to not complain and be the victim, and you are intending for something you're aligning with, and you're aligning with it, and you are embodying it, and you are not crossing your fingers, you are not hoping, you are not praying, because praying makes it seem like you don't believe that it already is here, right? When you pray for something like, oh, please let it come, let this come, let this come. No, it already is here. It is a done deal. When you manifest it like this, an intent is a done deal. You don't need to pray for it or hope for it or create it. It's in your now. It's already here. You pulled it from another timeline and you brought it into this timeline. And then what is happening is that you are stepping physically into it in this now moment. That version of you over and over and over again until it becomes that physical reality, because it already exists. If you're thinking about it, it already exists. It already happened, so you will not have that thought. Practice, practice, practice. So again, 1, what is your intention? Get as clear as you can, and it may grow. It may shift it. It may change it. Number 2, pull it from the quantum field and align with it. 3, bring it in and embody it as often as you possibly can, and then let it go. Just let it be. Do whatever you need to do in your everyday life to move towards that sort of intention. Intention meaning, if you're looking for you want a new job, you're probably going to do some sort of steps to start looking for one. Maybe you want to stay open to what the how the universe is going to physically create this. So don't want to just cross your hands and say, well, I intended it, so I'm just going to lay on my couch, right? You still want to live the life, the human life. And I want to say something here about this. If you ever quit intending, you're on your way out. If you do not make any plans, if you do not have a vision of your future, you're beginning to lose interest in life. That's the moment that you know you are going to get ready for a transition. When you lose your zest for life. Not so much that you need to do to continuously be making plans or this or that, but when you lose your zest for life and you're just going from a routine to another routine to another routine, and you do not give yourself the permission to be passionate about your life, you know, then when that zest is gone, either think about this. If you ever feel that way, do you want to let yourself just go and it's fine, or do you want look at what you're telling your is a message for you, you know, when it comes to be that time. Okay, so we're talking about the physicality of you, the human life. If you still want to live the life, the human life, you still want to stay open and receptive inexpensive to everything that's coming in, because you never know how it's going to plot physically into your reality. But you aren't doing like this, like, oh my God, I hope it comes. Oh my God, what do I need to do to make it come, to make it happen? No, it's embodied right here, right now. Practice and let me know how it goes. And again, I'm opening the floor. Yes, Lisa.
Yes, maybe about 10 years ago or so, I started having visions of a house and a new place that I would live part of the time anyway. And lately I've been just wondering, maybe I need to have more detail, and because I've been having these for a long time. So that was
May I
my
say
thinking.
something?
Maybe I don't have as much detail.
I'm going to stop you.
Okay, thanks. Talk.
Only to say this, and then you can continue. When you have a vision from 10 years ago, 20, 30 years ago, remember that you have a multiplicity of lives and timelines and parallel universes. I want you to ask yourself if this is still what you would like to happen, or is this an old idea from a past self? Is this really you? Because when it is really you, it doesn't take that much effort. Things just roll. And I think you know that. You and I have done some intending, and you have become very specific in your intending, and I think you did good. You know, only a little bit more specific on a couple of areas, but basically, if you take the formula, I mean, what we did is what I just said. So how did that work?
I told Angie this, and I don't know if I told Virginia this, but I had really, really fast manifestation back in September. Back in June, I lost my dog, which Angie knows about. And before she died, I was planning on getting a kitten, but it just seemed like kittens weren't really plentiful and abundant. Normally they are, but with COVID, they were wanting $300, $400 for a feral kitten. And I went and looked at some of those kittens. But anyway, long story short is, I was doing a meditation. I followed these steps really clearly, the previous steps for intention. And I really just visualized. And anyway, the long story short is, within an hour after the vision, the visualization or the intention, and putting myself there, was when it happened. It was like an hour later. I got a text. It was like, wow, thank you. And I told the dog, I said, okay, you got to help me find these kittens for this kitten. And now I have 2 of them.
That's only one of the manifestations. She has several. But anyway.
Yeah, that one is the one, yeah.
No,
yeah.
But you still manifested that.
Yes.
Do not, you manifested all 3 of them.
Yes.
All 3 of the others. Yes, Jenny.
About 11 years ago, and I didn't realize I was doing it, and until now I'm learning about what manifestation is about. But it was a time that my husband and I were separating, and we had just moved to Florida, and I was following him. He was driving a Yukon, and I was driving the other vehicle, and we were supposed to put it in his name. Long story short, because it was in my name, so it was help with the separation. And we were driving down a 2-lane road, And all of a sudden he pulls over, I pull over, and he comes out and he says, oh, I forgot a paper we need to be able to transfer the tags. I'm like, okay. And he says, I'll just go back and get it. I'll meet you there at the license place. This was in around the Brandon area. And so he whips out, he guns his wheels and does a U-turn, except that he didn't look, in a van with a ladder on top of it, slams into him, driver's side, and the ladder goes right through the driver's window. I'm sitting in my version behind the van, but I saw it all happen. I saw the ladder, and immediately I thought decapitation, but your body, adrenaline, and because I was studying a spiritual thing, and all of a sudden I was in shock, obviously, but all I was doing was screaming, God, my son needs his father, my son needs his father. And I had this sensation that something shifted. I got myself out of my car, I was shaking, all the traffic stopped, I walked around and I looked and I didn't see him. And then all of a sudden he leaned forward and not a scratch. The force was so great, and there was the ladder right over the driver's, steering wheel into the passenger side, other side of that car. The force was so great that the wheel axle was dug into the asphalt of the road, and the car, this is a Yukon, it was totaled. He got out and not a scratch. And I know, and I've said it, and I don't know if I mentioned this to Donna, but I've said it even to my daughter more than once. Reality shifted. He was alive.
Right. And you feel it.
And
sometimes
I know it.
It's a click, and sometimes it's like I did just have that.
It did.
Knowing.
I know it did. I know it did. And I knew nothing about this before.
Right.
So I truly get it. It's just, and that emotion was there. The emotion that's necessary to make that immediate shift happen.
Immediate. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so, but to replicate it takes practice, right? It was a blessing, I guess, to be able to experience it, but it's real. And Lisa, I get it. That immediate thing is an amazing capacity that we have.
Right. Wow. Good story. Thank you. Okay, people, hands on your chest. Okay. I want you to breathe normally as you relax on your chair. I want you and your chair to become one on the chair. Allow yourself to feel safe in that chair. You are safe. You are protected. Relax, release, let go, and let God. You are the image and the likeness of God. You are that which God created in its image and likeness. Creator, creators, being given the talents, the gifts, the skills to create universes, to create planets and galaxies, to create bodies, to create nature, allowing us to become actors wrapped in our costumes of human beingness, allowing us to partake in different plays. We forgot that we were playing. We forgot ourselves, and we believed the story. We came here to create. Someone once said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Not I came, he didn't say I came here so you may do penance and pay for your sins. That was never in our vocabulary, that was never in our thoughts. You are the divine, infinite manifestation of love in human form. You are the divinity, light shining, not only for ourselves, but for each other and for God. We are the essence of well-being, of completeness, of love, kindness, harmony. That is our natural state. We are joyful. We are carefree. We are contented and happy. Our natural state is not only one well-beingness, but kindness. I'm asking you to give yourself permission right now for all of your body cells to embrace the completeness, to embrace the integrity of who you are in spirit, to be demonstrated in the physical. You are capable, you are omniscient, you're omnipotent and omnipresent, expressing in so many levels, in so many timelines, parallel lives, dimensions, time and space, and out of time and space also, out of this time and space continuum. You roll and you know how to create and you know how to advance, and you are in this class because you want to advance, because you are that light that shines not only for you but for your family and your neighbors. You are an example to the world. You are the way, the truth, the light, the life that is shining for the others to find their way, not by forcing somebody to be a certain way, but by accepting ourselves. We accept everyone else. You are complete. You are enough. You are divine. You are wanted. You are cherished. I want you to know how valuable you are, how complete you are, and how the world looks at you for light. I want you to feel the warmth of your hands. Feel that healing throughout all your cells in your body by feeling your aliveness, by sending love through your body first, Enter all of the parallel lives of you, into all of your timelines and dimensions, into the oneness of all that you are. Now I want you to extend your hands towards the screen and bless each one of us with your beautiful energy, your healing energy. Feel that energy that is being sent by all. Feel the radiance. Feel the goodness of oneness, the goodness of compassion and kindness. You are wanted. You are loved. I want you to extend this energy to the entire world, the entire earth, including the stratosphere, all the way down into the environment, the earth, clouds, the waters, including the waters in the clouds, the snow, everything, including the deserts, including the mountains, including all the bodies of water, including the earth itself, the top of the earth, the middle earth, the core of the earth, and all the visitors that are here on our planet at this time. Send them healing. Send them a welcome. Send the entire earth your kindness and your goodness, your light. Bless the water, all the waters, all of them. Bless the systems. All of the systems that carry the waters. All the marine life, all the animal life, all the plant life, everything that is, the forest and the trees. You are loved, you are wanted, you are appreciated. I want you to know that you matter. Amen. And so it is. Namaste. So, Virginia, anything you would like to add, say, or I know I missed some things while I was incommunicado.
No, I don't think so. Great class. Really good stuff. And if you'd like to support us, please send us donations. They go directly to the ministry.
Yeah, the Unity really does need your donations at this time. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Yes, Penny.
I just want to say I really appreciated the class today because we had a lot of conversation and input, and I really appreciated that. It seemed kind of nice to have that input from everybody. So you encouraged input throughout the class, and it was really interesting. Thank you.
When I have different subjects, I break at different times because it's different things, and the three things were different, but they supported each other. The only one that was different that I had previously addressed in other ways. was the manifestation class, and the manifestation class was something that needed to be explained with a little bit more detail on my part. On, okay, you know, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, but if I don't give you an example, you know, I believe that the examples of, for example, if you want a new job, or if you want a new partner, or you want to have a partner, or, you know, the examples are always good. I don't ever want to give a class where I don't tell you how to do something. It's a lot of things to say, okay, just change your mind. Well, how do I change my mind? Well, how do I do this? Well, how do I do that? You know, I don't, you know, so I encourage, that's how come I encourage questions. That's how come I try for you to ask as many questions as is possible. So it gives me the opportunity to cover what I might not have, what I might have overlooked. Not that I don't have it, it's just that at the time that I'm doing this, maybe I just didn't think of it. So I give you the opportunity that if something is unclear, that you are able to contribute to your own, to what you need to know. So anyhow, so how are you doing, Donna?
Very well.
Okay, Charlotte.
Bye, Charlotte.
Charlotte has to go. Bye, sweetie.
Hi,
Love you.
Charlotte. I have to go too. I have a class at 3. It started, so I'll talk to you, everybody. I love you all.
Love you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, thank you. So, what were we saying?
You asked me how I was doing. I'm doing fine. I'm doing great, actually.
Good.
Yeah, I'm very
That's
high energy, so very positive right now. So.
Did the class help you today?
Yes, yes, because you know, I kind of forgot about manifesting. There are things that you know, you really kind of pointed out specifically that if you stop intending, I was like, yeah, I just been kind of just sitting here, kind of going along with the flow, and I forgot that I really want to take part in life. I really want to take part in life, so
Right.
I really have to.
It's like, do you want to just sit there and go in a routine, or do you really want to express in life other than that routine?
Exactly.
You know, a routine can get tedious, and then you get tired from the tediousness, not so much because of what you're doing, but it becomes tedious, and then it becomes boring and aggravating and irritating, and it's a trap. So I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly means I want you to enjoy life. I want you to, you know, to be able for you to enjoy as a creator that you are. You know, if you came to create, put your canvas out, you know, and see what it is you want to pull down into that already is there because you already put it there. What do you want to bring down from the quantum level?
Yeah, that's very true. I appreciate you pointing that out today too, because that kind of like boosted me up. So.
Right, but also the idea that if you don't plan ahead, if you do not see a vision of you being physical, then I just wanted you to be aware that you might not be aware of what you're actually asking for. Nothing.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Donna. How about you, Penny?
Yeah, as I said, the class was good. I liked the fact that you broke it up and that we were able to have questions and discussion about the different components, and it kind of helps me keep alert when you can that way. And yeah, good. It was good. And I know we had the class on manifestation, you know, a couple of years ago, and I think that's true. We
But I
needed
mean,
a,
we had
we
had
needed a
three
refresh.
different kinds of, we
We
had
need a
had
refresher
different
course,
kinds.
yeah, because I haven't been really working that much on manifestation. I've been
The
learning things.
first one had to do with the third dimension, then the second one had to do with the fourth dimension, and now it's the fifth dimension.
Yeah. So
It's
yeah, I
just
think I needed a reminder that we need to really we can't just let things happen as they may. We have to take control of our destiny. So that's good.
Mhm.
Good reminder.
Right. Thank you. How about you, Pam? What did you get from this class?
What I really enjoyed was like Donna reminding me I need to take pleasure and joy in things I'm doing. It reminded me, I just bought some picture ledges for my to put family pictures on. And I thought, oh, that'll be good. But you know, I got those in the mail today of all things. And I haven't been taking joy in it. I have just been doing. And I take joy in it.
Enjoy.
Thought, oh, okay, I need to be joyful about this.
It's time for us to have a breakthrough, our lighter side, our, let's drop the heaviness.
Yeah.
It's time for that. It's a new day. It's a new life. This month, specifically at the equinox time on the 20th or the 21st, everything is aligning for big change. Your new life is about to start, if it hasn't started already. So that's what I think that we're all looking forward to. We've had going like horses galloping and galloping without stopping, and now suddenly it's like, what? Oh, I don't have to go that way. I don't have to struggle so much. I do not have to, and we're beginning to really start to own that.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Lisa? What did you get from this class?
Well, I think the main thing that I got from it was just a reminder of it's not supposed to be work. And one thing that I have been really putting out there for manifesting and creating more is laughter and fun in my life. So I had a couple of just anonymous readings, and both of them said the same thing: to be not be so busy all the time, not be on that hamster wheel all the time, and not to be so serious, to take things lighter and to slow down, was basically what the message was. But one of my things too is just that I want to be more creative, and I feel like that's finally starting to flower more.
Good.
What were you going to say?
Having a cat time here.
I noticed. I want to see her beautiful face, those blue eyes. Hi.
Yeah, she has blue eyes. So, Virginia?
Yes.
What did you like about this class?
I like the specifics and the reminders. I like the concept of pulling it out of dimensions. I've been doing some of that. And it's a powerful concept if you really understand it and embrace it.
It is. There's so much that we got so caught up on life and the virus and this and that we forgot to play. And it's time, people. Okay, I think we're not, we still have a minute. Anybody wants to say the last words? Yes, Donna.
I love the fact that you also said that there are infinite versions of ourselves out there, and they're already there. Everything that we're manifesting is already out there. We just have to pull it in. Exactly. So I love that philosophy. I love that thought about that, you know, to know that this is already done. Everything's already done. I just need to just capture it and just bring it in.
Everything that you want, you have already created. So it's an opportunity for you to pull it down and say, okay, this is it.
Yeah. Love it.
Exactly. And it's called time jumping into that specific place where you have what you're asking for. That has all the ingredients, for lack of a better word, ingredients that you're asking for. Because if you had not, you cannot ask for things that you have not created. It wouldn't even come to you. You cannot even fathom
It's
that.
interesting. Yeah, that I was going to ask that question, actually. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's interesting. So everything that we've already thought and wanted really is planted there in our minds. We're just calling it out. So there is things that we don't want or can't have. It's not even there. It's just not in our capabilities of pulling it down because it doesn't exist.
Right.
Interesting.
It is
It's
nice.
very cool.
Okay, I think that we pretty much covered the 3 subjects for the day. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate every one of you. Pam, thank you. Lisa, Penny.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Another wonderful class. Oh, there she is. I never seen her in a while. Oh,
I love that the cat wants to hug you like that. It's like a little baby.
I can turn her like a little baby and carry her, and she'll let me.
That's awesome.
Okay, down you go.